They left, and it feels like loss, like something was taken from you. But here's what you're missing. Nothing was taken. Something was returned. Your freedom. Stay until the end, because most people completely misunderstand what this freedom actually gives you. The freedom to stop performing, the freedom to stop adjusting, the freedom to stop shrinking yourself to fit into a space that was never built for you. When someone leaves, most people focus on what's gone. The Stoics focus on what remains, and what remains is you, whole, unchained, free. Here's the truth most people avoid. Losing someone who wasn't right for you isn't loss. It's correction, not punishment. Correction. You weren't abandoned. You were released from the exhausting work of trying to be enough for someone who couldn't see your value, from the constant anxiety of wondering when they'd leave, from the version of yourself you had to perform just to keep them interested. That version? It was costing you more than you realized. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." When they leave, nature is course correcting. Most people fight this. They beg for them to come back. They negotiate. They promise to change. And that's where they lose themselves. In doing so, they reject the gift of freedom. Here's what nobody tells you. The pain you feel when someone leaves isn't about losing them. It's about losing the story you told yourself about them. The potential, the future you imagined, the version of them that never actually existed. You're not mourning a person. You're mourning an illusion. And illusions, no matter how beautiful, collapse eventually. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Someone leaving isn't the event. Your interpretation of it is. You can see it as rejection, or you can see it as release. One keeps you trapped, the other gives you leverage. When they left, they didn't take your value. They revealed the truth. They showed you that they couldn't hold what you offered. That's not your failure. That's information. And information, when accepted, becomes power. Let me show you what actually happens when you stop seeing their departure as loss. Stage 1. You stop chasing closure. You stop waiting for the conversation that makes it make sense. You stop needing them to validate that you were worth staying for. You accept they left. And that is the closure. Because closure isn't something they give you. It's something you take back. Through acceptance. Stage 2. You reclaim your energy. All the energy you spent trying to keep them, managing their moods, anticipating their needs, performing to keep their interest, returns. And suddenly, you have bandwidth again. For yourself, for your goals, for people who don't require convincing. And that energy shift is visible. Stage 3. You see the pattern. With distance comes clarity. You start noticing all the ways you compromised, all the red flags you ignored, all the times you made yourself smaller just to keep the peace. You weren't losing someone, you were losing yourself. And their leaving stopped that erosion. Here's what the Stoics knew. Freedom isn't the absence of people. It's the absence of dependency. When you need someone to stay for you to feel whole, you're not in connection. You're in captivity. And when they leave, the bar's open. Most people run back in because captivity, when it's familiar, feels safer than sovereignty. But sovereignty is the goal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." Notice what he didn't say. Beg, convince, chase. He said accept. And acceptance doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't resist reality. When someone leaves, reality is clear. And fighting reality destroys your dignity. Here's the shift. Stop asking, why did they leave? Start asking, what am I now free to build? That's where your power is, not in decoding their decision, in using yours. When they left, they didn't close a door. They removed a ceiling you kept lowering to stay acceptable. I know what this feels like. Someone I cared about deeply walked away, and at first, it felt destabilizing. I replayed conversations, wondered what I could have said differently. I treated their leaving like a failure. But one day, I realized something. I wasn't missing them. I was missing the version of myself I became while trying to keep them. The accommodating version, the flexible version, the version that said, it's fine, when it wasn't. And the truth was, that version wasn't strong. It was afraid. Their leaving didn't take something from me. It removed pressure. The pressure to constantly prove I was enough. And the moment I stopped mourning the loss, I recognized the gain. Myself. Unedited, unrestricted, unapologetic. Here's what the Stoics lived by. You cannot lose what was never yours to control. People choose. And when someone chooses to leave, they're exercising freedom. The same freedom you claim to value. Respect it, because resisting it keeps you chained. Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. Their choice to leave, beyond your control. Your choice to remain trapped in the story, entirely within it. Most people choose the story because pain feels like loyalty. But it's not loyalty, it's attachment. And attachment without alignment always collapses. Here's the final truth. They left. And that's your freedom. Freedom from performing. Freedom from shrinking. Freedom from waiting for someone to validate what was already there. You don't need them to return for you to rise. You were whole before they arrived. You're whole after they left. The only barrier is the meaning you attach to the event. Their leaving wasn't proof you weren't enough. It was proof you were misaligned. And misalignment is correction. Stop mourning what left. Start using what remains. Your time, your focus, your standards. They left, and you were released, not defeated, released. And when you understand that, everything shifts. Quietly, permanently.